There are more insects on Earth than almost anything else you can imagine. Estimates put their number at around 10 quintillion. That's 10 followed by 19 zeros. For every person alive, there may be more than 1 billion insects living alongside them. They are, by almost any measure, the most successful animals on the planet. And for most of human history, people saw this incredible abundance and did the obvious thing. They ate them. Even today, insects are a normal part of daily meals for more than 2 billion people. This is not a challenge, a dare, or survival food. It is simply food. In Uganda, people roast grasshoppers. In South Korea, silkworm pupae are commonly eaten as snacks. In Mexico, chapulines, grasshoppers toasted with chili, salt, and lime, are sold in markets by the bag. Across parts of Central Africa, termites are collected in huge numbers during swarming season and treated as a seasonal delicacy. More than 1,900 insect species are eaten around the world, and this tradition is far older than farming. Archaeological evidence suggests humans were eating insects long before they began growing crops or raising livestock. For early humans, insects may have been one of the easiest and most dependable sources of nutrition available. You did not need to chase them across a field. You did not need weapons, traps, or a successful hunt. Insects were everywhere, slow, abundant, and difficult to overlook. In many ways, they may have been humanity's first convenience food. So why did so much of the world stop eating them? Because when you look at the numbers, insects appear to be one of the most efficient food sources we have ever ignored. Take protein. Crickets can contain roughly 65 to 70% protein by dry weight, while beef is far lower. They also require much less feed. Producing 1 kilogram of beef can require several kilograms of animal feed, while crickets need only a fraction of that amount. They use less water, less land, and grow much faster. A cow can take years to reach market size. A cricket can be ready in only a few weeks. Other insects are equally impressive. Mealworms are highly efficient at turning feed into body mass. Black soldier flea larvae can even be raised on food scraps and agricultural waste, transforming material that might otherwise end up in landfill into useful protein. In fact, insects may already be part of your food system without you realizing it. Many farms use insect-based feed for chickens, fish, and other livestock. The insects may not be on your dinner plate directly, but they are increasingly entering the food chain behind the scenes. Then there is the environmental argument. Livestock farming is a major source of human-caused greenhouse gas emissions, especially cattle because of methane. Insects, by comparison, generally produce far fewer emissions for the amount of edible protein they provide. They also need very little space. A cricket farm can operate vertically inside a warehouse. You can stack trays of insects floor after floor. You cannot do that with cattle. More than a decade ago, the UN Food and Agriculture Organization highlighted insects as a possible answer to a growing global problem. How do we feed more people without using more land, more water, and more resources than the planet can handle? Yet in much of North America and Europe, insect-based food is still treated as a novelty. The reason is simple: disgust. For many people in Western countries, insects trigger an immediate emotional reaction. Their legs, their movement, their segmented bodies, everything about them feels connected to dirt, disease, and contamination. That reaction is not completely irrational. Disgust evolved as a protection mechanism. It helped humans avoid spoiled food, parasites, and things that could make them sick. But the problem is that our brains often rely on appearance rather than logic. They see legs, shells, and crawling movement, then make a fast decision, reject it. Except there is one obvious contradiction. Many people who say they would never eat an insect happily eat shrimp, crab, and lobster. Shrimp have multiple legs. Lobsters have shells, jointed limbs, antennae, and a body structure surprisingly similar to insects. Biologically, crustaceans and insects are closely related. Yet one is seen as luxury food, while the other is seen as a pest. So the issue is not really the number of legs. It is the category in our minds. Lobster belongs in the category of dinner. Cricket belongs in the category of bug. And once something has been labeled a pest, no amount of nutritional data is enough to make it feel appetizing. But this is not a universal belief. It is cultural. In many parts of the world, insects have remained an accepted and valued food for generations. In Europe, insect eating was also more common before industrial farming made beef, pork, and chicken cheap, available, and socially desirable throughout the year. As industrial meat production grew, large animal meat became more than food. It became a symbol of prosperity. A steak represented success. A roast chicken represented a proper family meal. Pork, beef, and chicken had powerful industries behind them, along with advertising, traditions, and cultural status. Insects had none of that. No major marketing campaigns, no celebrity chefs making mealworms fashionable, no generations of advertisements teaching people that cricket powder belonged in their kitchen. There is also a deeper issue. Insect eating was often portrayed by colonial observers and later Western media as something primitive, poor, or strange. That ignored the reality. In many places, it was a practical, nutritious, and sustainable food tradition developed over centuries. That stereotype still exists. When insects appear in Western media, they are usually presented as a shock, a bizarre challenge, or something people eat only when they have no other option. Companies have tried to change that image. Cricket flour brands launched protein bars, pasta, snacks, and powders designed to let people consume insects without seeing the insect itself. Some succeeded in small markets. Others struggled or shifted their focus toward countries where insect eating was already familiar. The obstacle was never just supply, price, or regulation. It was psychology. The European Union began approving certain insect species for human consumption in the early 2020s, hoping to encourage more sustainable food options. But the approvals also sparked online backlash and misinformation, including false claims that insects were being secretly added to everyday foods. That reaction revealed something important. People were not only rejecting insects as food, they were rejecting the idea of changing what food means. And that brings us back to the uncomfortable question. We are not avoiding insects because they are automatically unsafe. We are not avoiding them because they are nutritionally useless. And we are not avoiding them because they cannot be produced at scale. We avoid them because somewhere in recent history, we decided they belonged in the category of disgusting. Meanwhile, the global population continues to rise. Agricultural land is under pressure. Water is becoming more limited. And traditional livestock systems demand enormous resources. All the while, trillions upon trillions of insects continue to exist around us, efficient, abundant, and almost completely ignored. So maybe the real question is not, why do people eat insects? Maybe the real question is, What other things have we rejected simply because we were taught to find them disgusting?